Hello. Chair. Hello, Mac. Hello, Abram. Hello, Willow. Oh, hope everybody's doing well. Wow, Mac, 90 streams. Posey's most recent naughty claim, an empty pizza box. We came home to shredded cardboard. Just lucky that we had the pizza already in the fridge. You'd think by now we would have learned, but no. All right. So I think I thought up a good way to kind of mix up this bomb idea and make it reasonable. So I think the idea is we're going to add a new side to the battle. Currently, there are kind of three. There's the player side, the enemy side, and then what I call the bench, which is where the partners are. They just exist in the bench when they're not actively in the battle. Stole 4 hot dogs out of boiling water. Leo, you gotta stop that. Don't go bobbing for hot dogs. So the idea, and I don't know how well this is going to work, but we're going to see. We're adding a new side that I'm calling barricades. And maybe that's not a great name for it, but for the purpose of targeting, it'll work. The idea with this side of the battle is that it's going to be for units that can be attacked by either side and count as a frontliner for both sides. So if the player has an attack that only hits the first enemy in line, they're not going to be able to reach the actual enemies. They've got to go through the barricade first. But same for the enemies. Now, my concern last time when talking about this sort of game of like you're trying to push the bomb into the opponent's side before they push it into your side, my concern there was like, well, that's not super interesting if you have one option that you can attack to progress the bomb, and then the enemy is just going to target it right back and no progress is actually going to be made. There's got to be something else going on. And I think what would work well for that is to extend it in the Z-axis a little bit. So rather than have it just a single bomb sitting in the middle of the battlefield, we actually have like 3 bombs. One kind of up in the foreground a bit, one in the middle, and one in the back a little bit. And all 3 of them independently can be pushed left or right. And they'll have 3 locations, leaning towards players, dead center, and leaning towards enemies. If the enemies hit the bomb while it's already close to the players, it will knock into them and detonate. Similarly, if it's leaning close to the enemies and you knock it into the enemies, then it detonates. So it depends, which way it moves depends on which side is hitting it. I think this will be based on instances of damage dealt, not on... Well, sorry, on attacks made, not on actual instances of damage. Spring Fling, for instance, deals 1 damage twice. That is 1 attack, but 2 instances, so that will move it 1 space. So you'll have to kind of think about which moves will count as, you know, a single attack that can... if you're trying to, you know, get more than just 1 per person. I don't know exactly how the enemy attacks are going to work on the enemy side for this little thing. To make it interesting, I feel like we need something that can hit multiples somehow. I'm not sure if that's actually a good idea. We'll see. So like a tennis ball would be very effective because that would hit all 3 bombs and all enemies. So you want those area of effect kind of attacks. So I think we want to stock up the player before we get to this point to make sure they're ready for that. Additionally, I'm not sure if we want to go for 3 train cars worth of fights or just one pretty decent length fight. And then the actual boss. So we're gonna just kind of play that by ear. But for now, we're gonna get this system in place. The barricade. Let's see here. We want a bomb, but just like a pretty simple bomb to be made. So let's actually get our battle set up. How are we gonna do this? How are we gonna spawn a... Who's gonna spawn the attack? That's gonna be the battle script that's going to spawn the attack. Beautiful. There we go. Look at that beautiful battle arena. Choo choo. Yeah, so maybe like we start the battle over here or something. And then we have the big grand event of the crossing the bridge to transition into phase 2 of the battle. This is going to be a big battle. This is going to be a big battle. Let's see here. So let's do new image. It really doesn't need to be much because it's going to be fairly small. We'll start with 100 by 100. The fuse, I don't even know if we're gonna have a regular fuse. We'll do a little particle effect fuse. Do just a little particle effect fuse for it. That's a great bomb right there. Maybe a little bit too thick of an outline for what we're wanting to do. Let's see if we can fix that. Very nice. Okay, and then we'll give it a nice little, you know, the standard plug. Okay, looks good, looks good. Like I said, this is gonna be really straightforward and simple. We should give it some color. I don't know if that's the right color for it, but some color is good. A teal bomb feels odd. See, that's a bomb color right there. That's a Bomberman bomb color right there. Okay, lock opacity of the layer. And just give us some nice little bomb shading. And then a little bit darker towards the bottom. And then a little bit lighter. Looks good to me. Okay, cool. I don't want to have I was originally thinking like a countdown, but I don't think there's going to be any countdown to it. It's just going to be you knock it into the side and that's that. Okay, yeah, that'll work. There's our bomb. Let's save that. PNG. Bomb. And now that is technically going to be an actor. Even though it's not going to have moves in this fight, it will be considered an entity in the fight. So where does that go? I may have a new folder here for train fight. Because the train fight's going to have a handful of specific things going on with it. So just create a new folder called train fight. Loading, loading, loading. It takes a while because our file system setup is getting very big. We do need to put this in as it needs to extend base actor. So let's copy prickle actor. Yeah, why not? Why not? Train fight. Okay. Bomb actor. It's going to be different. Bomb actor. Animation canvas. Don't worry about it. Make unique, but delete it all anyway. Okay, sprite. Simple sprite here. Bomb. Sprite 2D. Bomb. A bit small. I'll be the first to admit it. That's a bit small. That's probably a bit big. Let's do this and then just pull it down a bit. I think that'll work, and then it rotates. Yeah, that'll be fine. Let's give it a 3D particle effect on here, maybe? Let's see here. Call this fuse. Let's get our 4-point star as our draw pass. New quad. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, and let's we're gonna want transparency. We're gonna want unshaded. Shadows. Disable receive. I think we want particle billboard here. And we want vertex color uses albedo so that we control it from the process material. So the process material is what controls kind of the animation of this particle effect. So we're going to position it right around there. All right, accelerations, gravity, no. I mean, maybe, but probably not. Spawn, position, right where it is. Angle, sure. Velocity, yes, with a full spread. Oh, you can't go any further than 180? Maybe not. Initial velocity. Oh, yeah. It's 180 degrees in either direction. Okay, got it. All right, looks good. Display, scale, smaller. Hello, scale. Wait, hang on. That's got to be in the material. Oh, keep scale. There we go. Okay. All right, so that's the base scale, but if we take this and we bring this, yeah, it'll go up and then back down. I want this to go a lot faster, so we're gonna take the lifetime and go to like 0.3. Okay, but let's make it go farther. So initial spawn velocity, bump that. Yeah, let's give it some randomization. Let's give it an initial direction. Oh, interesting. Never mind about that. Never mind about the flatness. Go everywhere. Yeah, just go all over the place. And then we need the color on this. I think color. Do we just want a single color for this? It does seem. That seems pretty good so far. Do I also want? Yeah, I think that's plenty good to indicate like, oh, it's a ticking bomb. Yeah, this will work. I'm gonna have the enemy side explain the bombs frantically, like, oh no, bombs. We better get those away from us. We don't want them to get too close or they might explode. You know, that kind of thing. I think that'll be a good way to do it. All right, so there's our bomb. Now we need it to be able to be added to the fight. How? Battle Manager. Here we go. Can get a battle script. So if I set this up, get battle script. What is an example battle script? Actually loading a fight. Okay, battle script equals that. Okay, so that's how we just manually set a battle script. So let's make a battle script now. Battle scripts are... This is an interesting system. It works. I'm not super in love with it, but I don't hate it. So I guess it's good enough. Battle scripts, here we go. What is this the most like? Chapter 1 fight, I guess. O3 boss. Okay, so battle scripts O3-boss. So now let's actually set this up. All right. On battle begin. Do a bunch of stuff. Oh, death interrupt. I forgot about that. That's going to be handy that we have that. I don't want to do any of this, really. And I can look this up in the Chapter 1 setup. I don't need any of this stuff. On after side start, on charge increase, check 4, check 4, check 4. All I need is for this battle to create an entity and launch it into the scene. Hello, Turtle. I just wanted to give you some levels to play. Just some fun little levels. Everyone loves fun little levels. Okay, we need to go to the enemy directory and make these new bombs. Bombs? Train bomb. It's gonna have no moves. I had plenty more for you. Bomb actor. Bomb. The best stream I've had in a while. Well, there you go. There you go. Simple as that. Okay, this thing has no strength, no defense. You just got a ground pound cancel. I don't understand. I don't understand. You just got a ground pound cancel. No XP, unscannable. I need to do something about unscannable. I need to make sure that you can't actually... What unscannable equals true? Which things are unscannable true? Quite a few. Dabble. All the partners. Yeah, okay, that's fine. This is just enemies that don't exist yet. I don't think that's important. These, however, are important. B maybe will be scannable later. Dupu should be unscannable. I get to take Dupu out of here. He's served his time in the enemy directory. Until you restart OBS. Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay, unscannable is supposed to be... Yeah, here we go. All it does is takes it out of the scannable list. I want to make it so that you can't scan the bombs, but like actually can't scan them. Children's content coming soon. Oh, good. Great. Great. All right, so the move scanner in the move directory. Partner scan. This right here. Target directory currently is enemy. We're going to replace that with a new target type called scannable enemy. So to do that, I need to take enemy. And it's basically, we want to grab enemy. So basically, just do the same thing. But then remove anything. Yeah, do an alive filter. I guess just do the normal stuff. Flank filter, yeah, I guess flank filter matters. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna copy paste instead. It's different enough. Take the enemies. Rhett is currently a list of enemies. So take enemies, filter, such that enemy directory dot scannable list contains the enemy ID. So enemy directory dot scannable list has unit dot dot unit type dot we give it an ID, don't we? Yeah, ID dot ID. Oh, actually, better yet, unit type dot get scannable default to true. False is the weird one. Okay, let's test this real quick. Enemy directory, Piggle, scannable, false. Now let's get in a fight with some pigs. I should not be able to scan them. Mac, typically no, you would not. You would want to be. Oh gosh, the music's playing. You want to be completely off screen. Yes. Okay. No scannable enemies. Good. I need to turn the music down in game. It's way too loud for me. Okay. All right. So that works. Make pig scannable again. Okay. Good. Done. So now scannable actually is respected for the bomb. On damage, it does have an action. Yeah. So for what Turtle described, the type of stuff he was describing on stream today, in my experience, you never want the person actually in the video, aside from their hands. They are not the subject. You want as much screen time devoted to the colorful characters from the familiar cartoons. No moves. The bomb has no moves. And I don't think anything in the barricade will ever use moves, but we'll see. On damage. Call self move. Bomb scoot. Bomb scoot. An excuse to get a married. Hi, Liari. Welcome in. Yeah, we'll see what comes of that. All right, so now we have scannable enemy as a target type. This is unwieldy. So these are the different things that attacks can target. Attacks can target everything in the entire battle. Just the person who's using the attack can be the target. That would be like for, I don't know, what is that? What is an example of that? A self-heal, a self-buff. My team, so it only affects friendly units, including yourself. Friendly, it affects one unit on your team. It can be yourself. Friendly, not self, only affects another unit on your team, and the list goes on. It's very granular. Okay. So, Train Bomb is going to call a new move, apparently called Bomb Scoot. So I need Chapter 3 moves. We need Bomb Scoot. All right, there's a whole lot of stuff here. That card shuffle was a mess, but important. See, this is a nice standard attack right here, this one. Bomb Scoot only affects myself. Now when we call, well, we'll have to see. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Don't need this. Might not need that. When we call one of these call self-move attacks, source. Ah. So we need action. Action. Whoop. Here we go. This right here. Unit source. Source is the source of the damage. Okay, so from that I can determine which way we're passing this bomb. This is so silly. Towards direction equals vector3.right times I don't know exactly how much if source. Hang on though. Self-move. Self-move drops the source. Dang it. Can I base that on whose turn it is? Using this system, can I determine who actually used the move that is triggering that? Most recent unit to have a turn. This would work. Most recent unit to have a turn. Where do we use that? Unit turn over. Ah. Okay, yeah. Most recent unit to have a turn. Oh, but... Okay, you're not... The call self move is not a turn. That's just a response action. It's not the unit actually taking a turn. So yeah, we could use that. We could use Battle Manager, Battle Events. Unit causing bomb scoot is Battle Manager dot Battle Events capital B capital E dot most recent unit to have a turn. Times 1.0 if unit causing bomb scoot dot side equals battle manager dot player side units. Player side units? Is that it? Yeah. Else -1. 0.0. There we go. Okay. Actions. Move actor to a target position. Yeah, why not? Source actor to source actor position plus move distance. Speed, slow. Also, fire a tween of the rotation variety. And you know what? We're gonna use the move distance as the amount. Oh, and the speed. How long is it gonna take? For moving one unit, let's say 0.5. This might need to go negative. I don't know. Okay, bomb scoot is ready. Battle events done. Battle manager. Target directory should be good. Okay, for our battle begin, we're going to take our battle manager and add to our third party side. These are the units that are not friend or foe. They're just in the way in the middle. So I need to append a unit, an entire unit. So for that, add and initialize unit. You have to give it the side. Unit type, unit side. How big is it? Is it a partner? Does it have an item? So battle manager, add and initialize unit, unit type. Enemy directory dot bomb, train bomb. Unit side, barricades. And then false, false. Okay, does add initialize unit return the unit that gets added? Yes. Also, how does it determine where to put a unit? Like, where does it add it? Unit.actor. It doesn't know where to put it. Scale, collision mass, change animation. No, it just sets it right down in the middle of the screen. Okay, okay. Well, we'll figure that out, won't we now? Yeah, typically at the end of all this, you'd follow it up by set unit position. We don't have that luxury here. So we're just gonna set it in the middle of the battlefield. Here we go. Do we get a bomb? Looking for a bomb. Give me a bomb. Failure. No resistances. Unit type has no resistances. I don't feel like every enemy needs to define its resistances since so few of them will have resistances. So I would like to recommend that we wrap that in a check to see if there are even resistances. Well, that's too bad for the enemies. Invalid object access. Oh, you know what would be easier is get on this dictionary with a there we go, with an empty object as the default value. Did I hit F5 or F6? I'm asking that question a lot. That was F5, okay. I wanted F6, I fat fingered it. Show me a bomb. Show me a bomb in the battlefield. Ah, we have a bomb. It's in the battlefield. No one can attack it. But it's there. No one can target the bomb. We're all just staring at the bomb. We're all concerned about the bomb. Now we need to deal with the bomb. So this is gonna be a mess. We're gonna have to gut a little bit of stuff here. Bomb. Oh, this is a mess. This is a mess. Oh boy, okay. Got 13 different targetable sets to edit here. All flying enemies? What hits all flying enemies? Whose move is that? It's not even in use. Okay, cool. It was just a nice to have. Okay. My team never includes the barricade. Enemy team does include the barricade type enemies. So I'm using the term barricade because one of my initial ideas, like before we even started the game, was the idea of a third party that both sides can choose to attack. And my initial use case of this was, okay, it's a barricade that that you have to whittle down, and then you can start the fight. And there's some kind of, I don't know, reason that all of you would be ganging up on this thing in the middle first, trying to do as much damage before the actual fight begins. So you could choose to like spend some time prepping for the upcoming fight or just go at it. Kind of a countdown clock for the battle starting where everybody gets time to prepare. Okay. Enemy team. That's not a lot. Why so many? That does. Someone's been bumping up the minimum. And it wasn't me. I've let this go unchecked. Okay. Let's see here. Enemies. And then enemy. Scannable enemy, no. First grounded enemy, yes. Grounded enemy, yes. First enemy, yes. Oh, this is going to be weird because it's going to... I want to be able to have like one in the background and one in the foreground that you can choose independently. So Dabble's main attack, that attacks the first grounded enemy, I want you to actually have a choice. Like if there's multiple barricade entities, they all count as the first grounded enemy and you can pick any of them independently. All grounded enemies, yes, that will be affected. All flying enemies could be affected. Not Dabble enemy could be affected. I hate... This one is a dumb one. It's only used for this one attack. You know what would make more sense than not Dabble enemy is a an enemy type filter or target filter. Be like a target filter. How well does that work? Does target filter go on the move? I guess it does. 400 nested if statements. I like it. I like it. Welcome in, lag. Okay, so the problem is that there's like one enemy that has one attack that has a special caveat that says it can not hit Dabble, but it can hit anyone else on the player's side. Now, anyone else should refer to Cat. That one also has a filter of not a Scarecrow, so I guess that's a silly one, right? What do we use not a Scarecrow for so much? Why is that used so much? Why am I using that like everywhere here? Very few things are Scarecrow. Yeah, but like Scarecrow should still be allowed to be hit with a lot of these. Friendly not self. Okay, friendly not self makes sense. Friendly, that makes sense. You don't want to use your friendly item only attack on a Scarecrow. My team. Okay, that makes sense. All. Who uses all? Target equals all. I want to see what moves hit all. Oh, okay, the slot machine. And the roulette. Yeah. Okay, roulette should be impossible for there to even be a Scarecrow out. And it wouldn't matter if a Scarecrow hits it in the first place. I don't think all needs to look at Scarecrow. I think that one's allowed to hit Scarecrows. So I'm gonna remove the Scarecrow filter from that. We don't need to be Scarecrow filtering there. There's a little bit of premature bug fixing, but I'm pretty sure that's never gonna come up. These others do make sense. They should not. An attack that hits everyone on your own team, yeah, the Scarecrow doesn't count. Scarecrow shouldn't be targeted. Scarecrow should only be targeted from enemies. Friends cannot hit scarecrows. Okay, cool. Now then, we need to talk about the bomb in the room. Okay, fold all of these. Things that can hit bombs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Have a good one, Willow. Okay, 7 things can hit bombs. Now, the thing is that bombs are not part of the enemy team. So when I have, for example, an attack that hits enemy team, my existing logic says, well, return the enemy team variable and call it a day. But that's not how we're doing it anymore. Now, we need to say, take the enemies. Speaking of enemies, hi, Germ Dove. How was Gungeon? Was it entered? Understand? Video game understand is such a dumb bit, and we live for the dumb bits. You may notice that there's a bomb. I don't mean to alarm you, but there is a bomb. You did very bad at Gungeon tonight. Well, you know. Do you have any interest at all in the new Gungeon that they're making? The 3D one? Name all 100 NPCs challenge. Jackie Chan. Flank limiter does not need to apply, does it? Bombs should not be... Oh, geez. I really hope I'm never... Oh, I'm going to hate this later, aren't I? Maybe. I don't know how you'd be able to visually deal with 3D Gungeon. 2D Gungeon is already enough. All right, we're gonna make a tweak. We're not gonna call this barricades. We're gonna call this right side barricades. Also, did I spell barricade right? Yes. We're gonna call it right side barricades because I'm expecting a problem later. If you combine this with flank battles, this is gonna be awful because it's in 3D. I'll never forget this article that was trying to explain. I don't know who the target audience of the article was, but it was discussing the new video game Portal. And the sentence was something along the lines of, much like Angry Birds, Portal allows players to casually play with physics. It's like, ah, yes. Ah, yes. Angry Birds. Much like Portal. They do both have physics. That's so true. That's so true. Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna add. Ugh. All right, little helper function. I know you guys can't see the code. Get right barricades. Source. Return source.battlemanager.right side barricades. new physics-based games. Physics-based games can be fun. But I think it's just because physics are fun. Therefore, I'm making a game with no physics. Alright. So grab the barricades. Assign. The target is enemies. Barricades is get right barricades. Enemies dot append array barricades. Okay, I think that's it for the first of like 6 of these. It's just gone. Flank limiter. Flank limiter is gonna be a problem here. Oh, flank limiter is gonna be a problem. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Flank limiter just needs to be adjusted appropriately. For everyone coming in, that's the link to the demo of this game. It does not have this bomb yet. The bomb is new. Flank limiter. Same side. Okay, this is fine, because by default it's going to be flank 1, and then left side barricade will be flank 0. So maybe I don't even need to have right side barricade. Yeah, I can just change the flank of it. 1, 0. Easy. Easy. All right, we're changing it back. We're changing it back. All right. So this is now going to be barricade. This is now going to be barricade. I've changed my mind. Flank limiter is going to handle all of our problems for us. All right. First grounded enemy. There was a game like that, vaguely. I didn't like it for what it was. I liked it for something different that I was interested in at the time, which was dynamic music generation. And it really didn't do that exactly, but it was cited as an example, but it wasn't a good example. The core idea of the game is like you're testing the game physics, and by that I mean you've got sliders for gravity and jump force and all this, and you're using those sliders to be able to navigate the level. And so it's like, oh, well, this is obviously too high of a jump. Change the jump strength. Oh, now you can make it. And so you're not really solving puzzles so much as just like, it was an idea. It was an idea. Okay. First grounded enemy. This one is going to be a thing. So, normally you just take the first grounded enemy and that is it. We are changing that. Trine... You know what? Trine was really good at the time I was playing it because I was always playing with 2 guys, and so there were always exactly 3 of us in our little gaming group. But yeah, floating boxes were a little bit OP. But yeah, that was fun. It was fun because I didn't do a lot of online multiplayer at the time. First grounded enemy. This is the whole reason we're making this change here. Barricade. Barricade is going to be special. Barricade is going to be special. Yeah. I'm fine with that. Okay, how do I manage this flank limiter? Because this is like a special case. First grounded enemy normally is only going to give you the first enemy in line, but I want barricades to work in the Z-axis. So if there are 3 bombs here in the middle, they are all the first grounded enemy and can be individually attacked. Okay. Here's what we do. Grab the barricade. Enemy team. Enemies. First take enemies. We're doing the alive filter. Great. Then filter on not flying. Cool. Then do the flank limiter. And then, if grounded enemies dot size is greater than 0, sure. But special case, if grounded enemies dot any is the barricade side, battle manager dot barricades. Oh, did I call it I did call it barricade accidentally. I want barricades. Barricades. If any of the grounded enemies are barricades, wait, what do you not like? What do you not like here? If grounded enemies, unexpected identifier after. Oh, battle manager not defined. Oh yeah, source dot battle manager. Barricades. If that's the case, then each of the thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. Take all the grounded enemies that are barricades. Grounded barricades equals grounded enemies that are barricades. Change the dot any for a dot filter. And then if there are any grounded barricades, then those are now what you return. Okay, so that's first grounded enemy done. Okay. All right, hang on. Let's stop. Let's stop. Let's bring it back. Okay. So that covers grounded enemies. Let's bring the battle scene back. Now that we've kind of refreshed things a little bit. Can we attack this bomb? No. Did you want to attack this bomb? Too bad. Does any... Oh, okay. That attacks the bomb, so that's good. That one attacks the bomb. Okay, good. But first grounded enemy does not. Why? Let's put a breakpoint in. Gear spin. Okay, breakpoint. Grounded barricades. Good. Step over. Okay, you know what? Just go to the next breakpoint. Grounded barricades. 0. Grounded enemies. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. It did not include the Oh yeah, I didn't add the barricades to this list. Okay, that makes sense. How have I been? Here's how I've been doing this. Grounded enemies. Pinned array barricades. Oh wait, no. Hang on. Enemies, append array barricades. This should not be called get right barricades anymore. It should just be called get barricades. Give me all those get right barricades. Let's fix those. Okay, good, good. Okay, first grounded enemy. We're gonna add, enemies, append array barricades. Then we're gonna filter it to take out the flying enemies. Then we're gonna filter it by flank. So if you're in a flank battle where you're surrounded on both sides, we're only gonna look at the enemies that you're facing. And then we're going to check. Normally, we're just going to take the first enemy, but then we're going to do one more check and say, wait a second. If any of those grounded enemies happened to be barricades, then return all of those particular barricades. That should work. That should work. This is such a niche thing that we're... Oh, thank goodness. Okay, we can attack that. We can attack any of these. I don't like that this gets tacked on the end, but I get it. And then cat cannot scan. Yeah, that's unscannable. Good. This should come up first, I think. This should come up first. How are we going to do that? A single sorting function for target directories. We do have this. Bomb should always be number 1. We do have a function that all of our target directory codes call, which is called clear empty sets. The idea being that a target type returns a list of lists. So for instance, if you have an attack that can hit, say, it can hit all grounded enemies or all flying enemies, then the return value should be the set of all grounded enemies and another set with all flying enemies. So 2 arrays within an array. That's the return type of these targeting functions. So all of those do a cleanup at the end to make sure that there are no subsets that are empty. Every targetable set should have at least 1 unit. If it doesn't, that's not a targetable set. Get it out of here. So let's piggyback on that and change that to also sort each set. Let's see here. For set in sets, for unit set in sets, ret.append unit set. Okay, so that's going to be the basic thing, is that if unit set dot size is greater than 0, there we go. Now I've cleaned it up from a one-liner so that we can edit it a little bit better. So we're going to say, before we add that, we are going to make ordered set, and then ordered set append array unit set. Robert. Hello, Al. And then ordered set is going to be sorted by sort custom. How do I do a sort custom again? Func a comma b return a dot actor dot position dot x less than b dot actor dot position dot x. I think that'll work. And it failed. Oh, because of this thing. Okay, hang on. Hey, Bach, welcome in. Godot does not like untyped arrays when you tell it that it doesn't do a good job of knowing what type of array you've got, at least the version of Godot I run on. All right, so let's pause there. So if I tell it that we're returning an array of arrays, will it be cool with that? Let's be cool. Hylian Shield. Oh man, that's almost Master Sword. See right here. Trying to return an array of type array. So it's saying, well, this is obviously an array of type array, but I want a return type of arrays, not just array. It's like, but it is an array of arrays. Well, you didn't specify that it's an array of arrays. So I have to say, oh, it's an array of arrays. Don't worry about it. It's still gonna get mad at me. Oh, maybe not. Hey, look. It knows that I want that. Okay. Ordering is still wrong. Ordering is still wrong. I thought I said I wanted this. Does sort custom sort in place? It sorts in place, yeah. So why? Okay. Okay, so if I do this, ordered set. Wait, sets. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5. This would help if I knew which one of these was which, wouldn't it? So ordered set is going to be. Oh, wait a second. Oh. It's going awry. Okay, here's the problem. This doesn't matter. This does not matter. What I need is actually to order the return set, not the individual sets. So I want to return this by the first unit's X position in each set. There we go. That's it. Oh, wait, get rid of that breakpoint before it gets called. Okay, now, yay. Okay, cool. Now that's going to be weird if you're looking at the other flank. So I want to if target set, I want to look at the flank value. So 1 is normal, right? Flank 1 is normal. Yeah, flank 1 means they're on the right. Flank 0 means they're on the left. Don't worry about that numbering system. If the first element... Oh, wait, this only if... Okay, hang on now. Flank. 1 by default. If unit set... the first unit dot flank equals 0, then set flank equal to 0. There we go. So true. So now we're going to reverse the sorting. If flank equals 1, do what we've been doing. Otherwise, reverse it. Because if we're looking at the left side of the screen, I want the highest X to be first in line. Okay, there we go. That's never come up. Every time there's a flank battle. Oh no, you could put Dabble. You could swing Dabble around onto the other side. All right, all that so that you would target the bomb first. Great. So what happens when you hit a bomb? Well, ideally, it rolls a little bit to the right. It did not. Okay, Fire Tween for the bomb move did not fire. Bomb Scoot is supposed to look at source.actor.sprites and rotate them slightly. We crashed because we blew up the bomb. Well, no, still nothing. Still nothing. Okay, sprite property. What is sprite? Okay, that is a thing that exists, isn't it? Sprites is an object. Great. It's an array. Coded object 922. Then what is this? Show me this object. It is bomb. It is bomb. It does have a rotation property. Rotation : Z. So target value is fine, I think. No, wait, we're giving it a vector. Oh, I'm giving it a whole vector. Oopsies, I wanted to give it just the X value of this vector, which is probably not the correct amount to rotate by, but we're eyeballing it. It'll be close enough. Cool. That was really cool of it. I mean, it is closer. Okay, first of all, change that. Next of all, let's make this so that it actually can rotate properly. Yeah, that would do it, huh? Okay. Nice tight fit on that. Yeah, okay. I think that's gonna be better. Did I break the parens? Bind on. Oh. Because when you're referencing it by tween, you have to use colon, but the actual property separator is a period. Okay. We'll fix that. That's fine. Okay, the delay I don't love, obviously. Why does Snail Domino work? And this doesn't. We need to check what Snail Domino is doing here. It's post right now. Domino happens like instantly. So that's going off of damage types. And it just immediately does it, no delay. So we're looking for the action from a Q hurt actions. We pass in the damage instance, which has a list of types. Damage instance types. So then we check the damage effects. And we say, that was a domino type effect. Therefore, we need to call the move domino into next enemy. Okay. And then we call it. We call action.action domino into next enemy. So we just immediately call domino into next enemy, which does get move, call the move effect. Versus what we're doing with the bomb, which is on damage. That's the same thing, isn't it? On damage for snail. Boom, right there. Snail. No. Oh, wait. That's on before damage. Why is that so special? Well, because it happens before damage. Okay. Interesting. On before damage is where we need it. I mean, yeah, we could do that. Does on before damage respect .any? Yeah, it should, because it's still calling check damage effects, which all uses the same code. Okay, that would make it faster, but there's a specific move I'm realizing that will not work with this. A move that expects enemies to never move. Oh, that's much better. It's still very but it's better. First off, it needs some easing. So rather than use the walk action, we're gonna use the tweening. We're gonna be tweening all over the place here. Source.actor position .x target position. Oh, I've got to launch, don't I? Will that work? Launch. No, in here. Launch actor. Perfect. It's Chip. Welcome in. How was stream tonight? Oh, we're making some progress. Steady but slow. I'm really screwing with the base code tonight. Okay, you know how RPGs typically have the player side and the enemy side, and we're screwing with that formula a little bit. I'm adding an in the middle side that is meant to be sort of a neutral party that either friend or foe can attack. for their own advantage or disadvantage. Million little QOL features. That's good. I'm excited to get to that stage. Because there's lots of things I would love to be tweaking and like, oh, we should add this and make this better. Tampering with the Matrix. Exactly. Yeah, in this case, it's a bomb that's in the center of the arena. And you can either attack the enemies or you can spend your time attacking the bomb to push it steadily towards the enemies, but they can do the same. What's really screwy, thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. I've got, I know I should have used resources for this. But I've got this thing called the target directory. Oh, I love bind. I will explain bind. I'm coming from JavaScript dev from my day-to-day career, and bind is super useful. I'll explain it in a bit. So the target directory is the list of ways that moves can target things. Yeah, seriously. So for example, in your standard RPG, so think multiple units versus multiple units in an RPG. We've got, for instance, a standard attack will say it can attack any enemy. But you might have some AoE attacks that attack, I think I've got enemy team, attacks the entire enemy team. You might have a healing move that can be used on any friendly unit. You might have a party heal that can be used for your entire team. You might have an item that can only be applied to yourself. So each of these functions represents what can this target, and it accepts who's making the move, and then the team, either team, and then it uses that to determine, okay, based on that, here are the things you can target. And it's very annoying because it could target a single entity, it could target like, you can choose between multiple entities, or it could target a bunch of entities, or you could choose. We can set this up. It's very extensible. We could say, oh, you can target either the entire enemy team, or a single friendly unit, or everyone on the entire battlefield. We can set it up in that kind of way. We provide, these functions send back a list of lists of units. And I had to edit like half of them tonight because we're adding now this third party group. And what's going to make it tricky, I better just comment this out so I can pull up a battle. Let's Unit 2, Unit 3. Let's do this. Unit 2 dot actor dot position dot z plus equals 1, and then Unit 3 minus equals 1. So I can explain what I'm talking about here. I hope so. So this barricade system can be like this. Oh no, we have 3 bombs in the middle of the playing field. Normally, I have an attack that you can only attack the first enemy in line. I'm making it so that this barricade team is going down the z-axis, which means that these attacks that are normally very limited and only able to attack one unit, I'm making it now that they can attack any of these units because technically they're all the first grounded unit. So yeah, pick any of those. And that was a bit to do. So then you can, bop them, and then you go back and then, yeah, well, I'm going to attack this one. So you get the idea. So it's going to be kind of this weird little mini game within this one boss fight, where you're going to be trying to push all these bombs away, and you're going to want to use a lot of AoE attacks to like hit as many bombs as you can in your limited turn amount, while you're like, oh no, do we let that one just blow up on us and just abandon it so that we can kind of maybe get this hit off and whittle them down a bit. I think there'll be a lot of strategy. Fingers crossed. Okay, bind. Let's talk bind. Why in the world would you ever use bind? What's a good use case for bind? All right, you know how normally you want to just call a function to do something. Everybody loves doing that, calling functions. Well, maybe you don't want to call that function right away, but you want to have that function ready to go for later. You can actually store calling a function as a variable, and then you can save it for later, and then just do .call to actually trigger that function call, which sounds crazy. But what I use that for is for defining the battle moves in this RPG. I define them as a list of bound function calls, and then I stick those into a big list of actions that we're going to churn through. First, call a function that says move the player in front of the enemy. When that is done, you can then trigger the next action in line, which happens to be make the player do a 360. And then we sit and wait for that function to say, hey, I finished. And then when I hear that, oh, you finished? Okay, I'm going to trigger the next action in line, which is deal damage to the enemy. And then the next action in line, walk back to your home position. And then the next action in line, oh, there's no next action in line. Therefore, we know that the move is done, and the next player can have their turn. So that's why I use bind a lot in all of these moves. Some of them are unwieldy and ugly because it's just kind of grown a bit outside of the scope that I initially intended for this. I don't know how I would have done it differently, knowing the types of moves that I'm trying to build these days. But I'm really pushing the bounds of what I originally built this system for. Because originally the idea was walk up to enemy, do a little animation, enemy takes damage. But now there's some complex stuff that I'm doing. I don't know if this is a great example. Let's see if I can trigger this just by... Oh, there's going to be bombs. We can ignore the bombs. But let me just show you an over-the-top move that we have in this. Here we go. All right, this guy right here. All right, ignore that. That's just a thing that happens. Let's just defend a lot because I want him to get around to getting the big. Oh, he's just gonna do a little jump move. God, that was really hard to time, as intended. No, not the slot machine. When he does a big, when a big deck of cards comes down, that's the one to watch for. Yeah. Oh, he's hitting the bombs. Great. All right, come on, deck of cards. Okay, this wasn't meant to have bombs involved. Okay, but I mean, all of these are good examples. Here we go. This is built with this system as well. Oh, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? I think it's this one. So this fun attack, the idea is like, okay, watch where he goes because you got to attack the right guy. Oh, his status card sticks around. I don't really want that, but there we go. So anyway, there's some fun little examples of what this system can do. Okay, launch actor. Launch actor 2. Target position over the course of 1 second. Fire tween accepts a Transition type, and then the ease in out business. We're gonna go quad. Ease out. I think that's the. No, we want in. We want in. Launch actor, wait, and then done. Okay, bomb scoot. I want the bomb to scoot. That should work though, right? That'll probably work. All right, let's see if we can start attacking bombs. Nope. Oh no, launch actor failed because. Did I give it an invalid target location? I probably gave it an invalid target location. Launch actor towards. I did. Target position was supposed to be source.actor.position plus move distance. I copy pasted some code and didn't actually correct the pasted version to what I was hoping to do. There it goes. Bye. All right, let's fix that. After landing on the ground, we just want to set the velocity. Yeah, here we go. Just like that. Set velocity to 0. He's just moon theme. Just flying away. That's good. That's good. I think we want it to go a little bit less far. Let's say 0.75. Amount of damage isn't gonna matter. Why are you guys not attacking the bombs? There we go. Uh-oh. Oh, that's fine. Uh-oh. He flipped around. He extinguished my bomb. How did you pull that off? How did you pull that off? It should be, oh, you know what? It's because it's negative. We don't want this to be... yeah, we want the fuse to be up here? No, because the sprites are the ones doing the rotating. Do the sprites flip? Do the sprites flip? Yes, the sprites do flip. Okay. What was the last thing that... It was Bernie. Bernie had problems being flipped around too. And to correct that, yeah, we just kind of moved that there. Okay. So this is doable, but it means that the fuse can't exist in the sprites, which is a problem because the sprite 3D is going to rotate and then the fuse is just going to kind of chill. So, yeah, I need it to follow in 3D space, but I don't want to actually parent it since this thing's going to be getting scaled, and when you scale a particle effect into the negatives, it just deletes. So we don't want to do that. So instead, what are we going to do? I could just tell it never flip around. If we can do that. Does this need, do we need this code? Is this necessary? I mean, probably. But what if it isn't? What if we get away? No, we do. Yeah, well, yeah, we do need that. What's better? What's better? Attach it or? Because we could just make it follow. Just make it follow this point. Do I have any good follow code already? Follow camera? No, okay. Actors, base actor. We're gonna make a new little script for the fuse. Oops, not the button I meant. Let's make something extensible. Follow position. Extends node 3D. Target is a node 3D. Every frame, just move to the target globally. Cool. All right, fuse. Track the fuse position. Done. Okay. That'll work. Next up, we need it to explode. Do some kind of exploding. Good. Good. That looks great. Okay, we still have a fuse. Excellent. Don't love the way that's rotating. Oh. That's odd. It's a little odd. Why are you underground or something? What? What? How did that happen? Move vector 3 dot right. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I probably should have done wait until is on. Wait a second. No, wait a second. Is that something about the way it's rotating, or? Oh, I bet it is, isn't it? Is it rotating the it's rotating the sprites instead of the sprite 3D, the individual sprite 3D. Ah, haha. Okay. We can fix that. How do we fix that? First of all, move that here. Then move that here. Okay, that will fix it. We'll see. Oh, and wait, and what? Is this thing flying? No? How does it not fall? Why is the sprite where it is? Uh-oh. Something's weird here. Bomb actor position 000 looks like this. Good. Is it the battle script doing something silly? Unit dot actor dot position dot y plus equals 1. Just put it up in the air. Does it fall? I want it to fall. It does, but that's where it falls. What? Is something not updating properly? Let me close it and reopen the file. Yes, actually closing it and reopening it did in fact change everything. Now it's in the ground. Why? I don't know. Don't worry about it. Oh, it's probably a reset animation. It is. Why do we even have that reset animation? Because of backflip. Okay. I thought the little rotation would be fine, but it's not. So we want sprites and then get node sprite 3D. That's fine. That's workable. I don't love it. That makes this code a lot harder to maintain doing that, but okay. Okay, I can close this art here. All right. Don't even bother. Don't even bother. Just defend. All right, pigs. Okay, good. It's on the ground. They still attack it in a pretty weird way, but I'm not going to lose sleep over that. The pigs are never supposed to be involved with the bombs anyway. All right. Much better. It's not going into the ground anymore. Okay, so the idea is that with each instance, we're gonna update a value depending on the direction we send it. Once it goes 2 steps away from its home position, it explodes. So you might be able to get away with completely ignoring the bombs, but more likely, not so much. I think the battle is going to wind up being a lot of action economy management. You want to make sure that you have more moves available than the enemies do, through whatever means necessary, by, focusing down one of their guys quickly or whatever. Now that does mean that you can pretty easily push a bomb up. Posey stinking over there. I'm sorry. Good old Posey. It's the meat. So let's see. How are we going to manage this then? One other thing I want to do. I think this is going to push it twice. The spring fling. That was pretty cool, but not what I wanted. Maybe we can do that. That it just kind of like, if you've got one of those moves, it'll just knock it into the air multiple times and you could push it all the way in one go. That is silly, but I like the idea that there's multiple ways to get that bomb pushed away. But it all comes down to the X value of the bomb. Once it gets past the 1.2 threshold or something, it's going to explode. What if the wind is constantly pushing the bombs closer and closer to you? No, we can't do Can we? No, I don't think I want to do that. That's silly. I'm going to snooze the ad because we're about to raid out anyway. I remembered to snooze an ad. Yay. Okay. How do we handle the explosion? Well, we've got a nice explosion effect. Vaguely, nice. So this looks at sprite's scale. We could scale the entire element to make a bigger blast. I don't know if I want that blast. We might want... Do we have anything more than that? We've got the smoke poof. This happens when an enemy gets defeated. That could be pretty good. Okay, so bomb explode. I want to make sure the unit gets cleared out. Oh yeah, this should be wait for land on ground. Wait for landing on the ground, because then you can kind of do this juggle that we talked about. Okay. I think at the end here, that's when we're gonna decide, is it time to explode? And if so, trigger another move. I never... Double indent? Single indent? It shouldn't be single indent. That's zero indent. That makes no sense. It's fine. Whatever. This is what we're going to do here is check, okay, is this beyond a certain X position at this point? If source.actor.position.x is greater than or equal to 1.2, then explode on the enemies. And if it is less than or equal to negative 1.2, explode on the players. So we need that to be a move. Explode. Bomb, explode, move. Target is a team, right? I mean, this doesn't really matter. This doesn't really matter. The targets, it's not really going to line up one-to-one. Source is going to be the bomb. Targets is going to be the entire team that got blown up. So bomb explode dot action dot call source battle manager dot enemy side units versus player side units. And that's going to remove the bomb from the battle right then and there. So we're going to start by saying source.side.erase source. Get him out of the battlefield as a targetable unit. And then we're going to actually delete the sprite or the actor, the character body, later in the function. But I'm not doing that tonight. It's late. It's late, and we need to get Raiden out of here. Oh, snap! That's exciting. I just saw that Photon, he's in an ad break for the, well, I don't know, thumbnail lies sometimes. Let's see. Oh, he's in an ad for another 2 minutes. All right, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait out his ad. Epic Photon. We're gonna raid into Epic Photon. Friend of the channel, very talented developer working on Lake Hopper, a flight sim. You build and fly a seaplane. The full game plan that he's got is pretty extensive. He's in that nice sweet spot where he can just choose to add features. There's some things that he definitely wants to do that he's mentioned that, like, yeah, we're definitely doing that. But he's got a lot of freedom in where he's taking the game. But apparently, he is launching in 8 days. I had no idea it was so soon. That's very exciting. He had a really good string of luck with some viral posts. Flight Sim is a fairly niche community, and so you get a lot of stickiness with that. So I've got high hopes for where he's going with Lake Hopper. That's very exciting. All right, I'm waiting out his ads. What do we talk about for another 30 seconds? Paper Robot. It's a cool game. I didn't do a good job. I said I was going to do a better job of like having the game up more while we're working on code. Just, you know, I'll work on the code on the other monitor so everybody can actually look at these nice bombs. They're great. There we go. All right, let's raid into Photon. I will be back tomorrow. We're going to work more on this Chapter 3 boss fight. It's the last major fight of Chapter 3. I still have a lot. There's genuinely a lot of Chapter 3 left to do. It's unplayable. Chapter 3, you cannot get through it. You can get through, like, the first quarter of it, and I'm slowly picking away at more of it, but it's taking some time. Chapter 3 is going to be a mess. But we'll get there. I still need to think about when I'm going to get the next play test out, so people can try out Chapter 2 and 3. That's a private test. That's not for the public beta. But then once I've got that ready, I want to also have testers kind of go back through some of the new stuff I've been adding for the prologue and Chapter 1, including the fast travel system, which is functional now, as well as a host of stuff for like the menu, databank, settings, all that bunch of stuff. Anyway, we'll work on this more tomorrow, so hope to see you guys then. Wishlist the game if you haven't, because I like to see the number go up. Play the demo, it's fun. I like it. I'll watch you play it if you stream it, if you're on when I see it. Anyway, bye everybody.